My roommate was too controlling, but then something happened that was out of her control. My roommate, Janie, was the most anxious person I've ever met. She was scared about almost anything, but I was still surprised when she sat me down in the living room after the first week of living together and said, "I've installed a door camera for the front door. I also need your day-to-day schedule for safety purposes." I sat frozen in shock as I stared at her. She frowned. "Otherwise, this isn't going to work out. I'll report you to the landlord for being unsafe and breaking the lease." Things escalated after that. She installed a door camera that captured everything on our front porch and in front of the tiny house we were renting. I was forced to give her my schedule, my college classes, and my after-school job hours. She started monitoring everything, asking me where I was going if I didn't stick to my schedule exactly. If I wanted to hang out with friends on my day off, she would either go with me or follow me there and sit in a different booth while I caught up with my friends. It was weird and creepy, but she kept insisting it was for safety reasons. She started getting desperate. I would catch her hanging out around campus sometimes, watching me head to class or standing on the sidewalk chatting and laughing with my friends. She would show up randomly at my favorite coffee shop where I like to hang out and work on homework. Sometimes she would interrupt my time with my friends. My friends started getting suspicious of her, telling me she was weird and controlling. I just told them she dealt with a lot of anxiety and paranoia. When I came home from classes one day, I saw her installing a camera in our living room. "There should be no secrets between us," she insisted when I asked what she was doing. The camera streamed directly to her phone, and she was the only one with access to it. It made my skin crawl in an uncomfortable way, but I didn't say anything. Then I was getting dressed in my bedroom when Janie suddenly barged in without knocking, holding her phone and face red with anger. "You got a new tattoo when we need to save money for bills," she demanded sharply. I stared at her with wide eyes, covering myself up as much as possible. "What?" I asked. "The tattoo on your hip," she snapped, pointing. "How in the world did you even know about that?" I asked harshly. She glared at me. "I installed hidden cameras in your room, of course," she said with a small shrug. There was no uneasiness or remorse on her face. She actually believed she didn't cross a line or do anything wrong. Anger filled me hot and heavy. I was pissed. "Get out!" I exploded. She paled instantly at the sound of my voice and suddenly dropped to the floor, rocking back and forth while breathing heavily. Did my voice seriously send her into a panic attack? I hesitated, unsure what to do. Eventually, I ended up sitting with her and helping her get control of her breathing. She was crying when she finally took a deep breath. "Just for safety," she stammered. I shook my head and refused to look at her. "This isn't safety," I muttered. "This is control, and I'm over it." I stood and pulled out my phone. Janie's eyes widened and she lunged for my hand. "What are you doing?" she asked. "Stopping this," I said coldly. "No," she screeched, trying to grab the phone out of my hand. I shoved her out of my room and slammed the door shut, locking it behind me while she banged her fist against it. Tears of stress and fear filled my eyes as I called our landlord, explaining to him what was going on. He assured me he would fix it, and then we hung up, and I slid down the door until my butt hit the floor. Some time passed in a blur, and then I heard someone bang on our front door. "Police! Open up!" I heard Janie scream as the banging on the front door got louder. With a sigh, I stood and headed out of my room to let the police in. Janie was hiding in the living room, although it wasn't a very good hiding spot. One of the cops stepped forward. "We got a call about a domestic dispute," he said gruffly. I nodded. "My roommate has made me feel very unsafe," I said calmly. "She installed hidden cameras in my room and then came into my room when I was naked, after watching me on her phone." The cops frowned and found Janie in the living room. They took her phone and pulled up the security camera app she had. It wasn't just my bedroom, apparently. She also installed hidden cameras in the bathroom, too. I was disgusted. The cops arrested Janie despite her loud protesting and the curses and threats she threw around. It turned out that she was never diagnosed with high anxiety. She was just crazy, and I wasn't her only victim.